Forget all of the marketing hype. I am going to be testing 3 of the best game improvement irons from recent years to find out which one you should be putting in your bag. I've got the Ping G430, the Callaway Paradigm and the Wilson Dynapower. All 3 of these irons were top of their class in 2023 and are an absolute bargain to buy secondhand in 2026. If you are looking for that little bit of extra forgiveness and distance out on the golf course without breaking the bank on some brand new clubs, this video is for you. Let's get into it. First of all, I want to thank Nearly New Golf Clubs for allowing me to test these clubs for your viewing pleasure. These guys have a massive stock list and a try and return policy that lasts 30 days. So if it turns out the clubs you bought aren't quite right for you, you can always send them back for a full refund and try some different ones. Second of all, what are game improvement irons and why are they so good for your game? Game improvement irons are designed to be long and forgiving. Now you'd think that every club would be designed with these 2 things in mind, but game improvement irons are distance and forgiveness on steroids. They are designed to help mid to high handicap golfers get the ball up in the air, and they're also designed to help slow swing speed golfers hit the ball further. But how exactly do these clubs do that? All of the manufacturers are going to put their own marketing spin on their designs, but they will all have the same fundamental build qualities. They will have a hollow head and a cavity back, which is designed to help increase ball speeds. They'll have a thicker profile, which is designed to increase MOI, which is going to help with off-centered hits. Basically, more forgiveness. They'll have some extra weight at the bottom of the club, which is going to help get the ball in the air. And they will all have stronger lofts than traditional irons, which is going to help players hit the ball further. So if you need some help getting the ball up in the air, or if you want to hit the ball further, or you simply need some more forgiveness from your clubs, game improvement irons could be the answer to your prayers. But which one of these 3 irons is going to help you the most? Let's find out. As with all of my product reviews and tests, I'm using the FlightScope Mevo Plus to gather all of my data here in the simulator. And for this test, I'm going to hit 20 shots with a pitching wedge and 20 shots with a 7-iron from all 3 sets of clubs. Now that should give me enough data to be able to tell which one of these clubs is actually best for your game. And if you've done the maths, that means I'm hitting 120 shots for this test. And I'm not going to bore you with every single one, so I'll be back in a second with all of the results. Probably need to turn my launch monitor on. See you in a second. Okay, results are in, and I tell you what, 2 of these clubs performed really well, while one kind of struggled. Let's start with the pitch and wedge results. For this test, the data points that we're going to focus on are carry, spin, descent angle, and percentage error index. That number relates to forgiveness. Instead of drip feeding the results to you, on screen now is all of the data with the pitching wedge. Feel free to pause this and go through the results at your own pace. Right, basically put, the longest and most forgiving manufacturer with the pitching wedge was the Ping G430. But I do have a huge issue with the Ping. It has the worst stopping power from the 3 heads I tested. And considering that the Wilson and the Callaway's forgiveness isn't too dissimilar to the Pings, I'd argue that they actually have a better overall performance than the Ping. As we can see from these results, all 3 clubs are flying a very long way for a pitching wedge. The Wilson kind of lacking in distance though. So overall, I'd probably give the edge to the Callaway Paradigm for this test so far. Let me know in the comments though, which is most important to you, forgiveness or distance, especially when you've got a pitching wedge in hand. While you do that, I'll move on to the 7-iron results. For the 7-iron, all three carry numbers were basically the same, and all three are hitting the golf ball a very long way. The ping this time though has had a huge drop off in forgiveness, coming in last out the three heads. Although this time at least it has some better stopping power. Stopping power is basically a combination of a steep descent angle and spin. The steeper the descent angle and the more spin you have, the better stopping power you have. And frankly, stopping power is very important with both the pitching wedge and the 7-iron. For me, the club that will stop the ball the quickest with a 7-iron in hand is the Wilson Dynapower. It's got the most spin and marginally has the steepest descent angle. It definitely has the best stopping power out of these three clubs, and the distance isn't too bad. It's right up there with the other two heads. But for me, the golf club that's gone under the radar a little bit is arguably the best club out of the three. The Callaway Paradigm is the most forgiving club with a 7-iron in hand. Okay, the forgiveness is the worst out of the three with the pitching wedge, but all three golf clubs were very forgiving with the pitching wedge. So I don't think we're giving up too much forgiveness in that club. There is an argument that the Wilson Dynapower is actually the winner of this test. The stopping power is probably best from all three clubs, but it is lacking a little bit in distance. Before I give my final verdict, you guys have seen all of the data. Let me know in the comments which club you think is best. I've had a really good think about this, and I think the Callaway Paradigm is the best club out of the three I've tested. The forgiveness is really high, the distance is really long, and that is exactly what you want from a game improvement iron. The other two were long and forgiving to a certain degree as well, but the Wilson wasn't very long with the pitching wedge, and the ping wasn't very forgiving with the 7-iron, whereas the Callaway performed great with both clubs. The reason why I've tested with both the pitching wedge and the 7-iron is to give you guys confidence that if you buy these sets of clubs, they're going to be good throughout the whole bag. And from my testing, you might be giving away a bit of distance with the Wilson and a bit of forgiveness with your long irons with the ping. But you don't have to take my word for it. You can try these clubs yourself. If you buy them through Nearly New Golf Clubs, you have a 30-day buy and try trial period. If the clubs aren't right for you, you can always send them back within the 30 days and get a full refund. The hardest part about buying second-hand golf clubs is not knowing if they're actually going to work for you. But at least with these guys, you can try them and get a full refund if they're not for you. I'm going to send these golf clubs back next week, and you're probably going to see them back on the website in 2 weeks. So keep an eye out for them because they're going to be an absolute bargain to buy secondhand, ready for next year. Guys, thank you so much for watching this whole video. If you're still here and you're not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, hit that like button because that will really help this channel grow. But if you don't feel like I've earned your subscription just yet, how about watching the video on screen now? This video explains how to pick the right golf ball for your game. If you want to lower your handicap, you need the right golf ball. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week for another video.